Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ali Allah, Madad Farma. Al-Wahidul Kahar, Ali Allah, Madad Farma. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil, wa ni'mal mawla, wa ni'mal nasir. Shukran lillahi walhamdulillah. Shukran lillahi walhamdulillah. Yali Madad to all friends. Today we have gathered to talk about Batini aspects of Lailatu'l-Qadr. With Mawla's mercy, we will try to shed some light on this topic. We all know that the night of Lailatu'l-Qadr, the night of power, it is Islamic belief that on this night, on the night of Lailatu'l-Qadr, Quran was first sent down from heaven to the world. And also it is the night when the first verses of the Quran were revealed to our final prophet, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Generally, it is thought that this night of power, which is the time when the Quran was revealed, it was through Hazrat Jibreel alayhi salam who came to Prophet Muhammad and told him to read. So it started in the month of Ramadan, and it is being said that it was odd nights, last 10 nights of Ramadan, odd nights. It started to reveal to Prophet Muhammad when he was 40 years old. And it concluded at the time of his death. The exact date is uncertain, but it was one of the odd nights that this Quran started to reveal to Prophet, the last 10 days of the month of Ramadan. Since then, Muslims have regarded the last 10 nights of Ramadan as special nights, and we will review in Quran what does Quran say about it. So these last 10 nights are taken as exalted. Everybody would fast and stay awake the whole night. It is also said that the night of Qadr comes with the blessings and mercy of Allah in abundance. Sins are forgiven, all the Giryā-Zari supplications are accepted in his court. Annual decree is revealed to the angels who carry it out according to Allah's command. So let us see what does Quran say about it. Chapter 97, Surah Qadr. The first verse says, Inna anzalna fi Laylatul Qadr. We have indeed revealed this in the night of power. We all do notice the word message in the bracket. And we do know that we do not read brackets when we read Quran. What it means that the translator thinks that it is talking about message, and that's how he puts his thought. Somewhere you might see the word Quran in bracket. But this verse, if you look at the Quranic verse transliteration, you will not find any book or Quran is mentioned there. Our Ismaili Pir, Pir Nasir Khusraw, in his book Hudūd-i Dīn, chapter 33, says that it is the month of Ramzan when the Quran was revealed. Though there was no book as per se. So what was revealed? It was revealed orally in the heart of the Prophet. But the Tawil of revelation is that it was luminously revealed in the heart of Mawlānā Ali. Mawlānā Ali, who is the Asas Imam, who is the foundation Imam, whose job is to do the Tawil of the Quran. Prophet Muhammad brought the Tanzeel, which comes from the heavens to the world. The word Tawil means to take it, return it back, to take it back to the origin. The essence, the batin is the Tawil. And it is the job of Asas Imam, Mawlānā Ali, to do the Tawil of the Quran. So in today's time, how do we understand this? It is very recently that we all have been talking about Tawil. Before this time, we did not know much about Tawil, though it existed, it has been there. Mawlānā Ali has been doing the Tawil, but the understanding of the Tawil, the way nowadays we are learning, it wasn't there some time ago. Now, when we look into understanding of this night in today's time, Allama Nasiruddin Hunzai in his books talks about a concept of renewal, which is the proper term for renewal is tajaddud. And we've been hearing this word renewal. And let me give you a very simple, very worldly example for us to be able to understand. We do see in our worldly life, men and women, that sometimes, there is fashion of 3-button coat, then 2-button coats. Women have short kurtas and then long kurtas, and it will keep coming back. The fashion would keep coming back. This very worldly example is helping us to understand what is renewal. With time to time, things keep repeating. Same thing would come back after some years. And we also hear this, that in Quran, Allah says that Allah's habit does not change. He likes to repeat. He renews. He's always creating, but he's renewing in his creation. So when we are looking at this verse, we have to see this verse in the light of renewal. How it is renewed for Prophet Muhammad. We all know, as Ismailis, we believe in cycle. And we had studied this verse. Let us review today too, so we are together. Chapter 11, verse 7, which talks about, which says, and it is he who created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, and his throne had been upon water, that he might test you as to which of you is best in knowledge and deed. Now here you notice that I did read the bracket, and I have added this bracket there. The reason is that we have learned in our journey of knowledge that no knowledge of the deed, what deeds are good, it is actually based on the knowledge. Without knowledge, deeds have no value. Without knowledge, deeds have no value, because one would not know what are good deeds. It is only through knowledge that the deeds are understood. And Allah tests on the 7th day who is best in the knowledge and the deeds. So he created the world in 6 days, and on 7th day, he decided to sit on the throne. Lord himself, he decided to sit on the throne. To do what? To do the accounting, to test who is good in their knowledge and their deeds. Now, Pir Nasir Khusraw talks about the 6 days as being the cycles. Each day represents a natik, a prophet, a major prophet. There have been very many prophets, 124,000. But each day actually represents a major prophet. And as we do know that Hazrat Adam alayhi salam came on the first day, the day of Sunday. Then on Monday, which is 1,000 years, meaning that each Natik brought their Sharia. And on Monday, it's the day of Hazrat Noah alayhi salam. Tuesday is Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. Wednesday is the day of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. And Thursday, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. And Friday is the day of Prophet Muhammad. And that is why we do Niyaz in congregation on Friday. Saturday is the last day. It is the time of Qiyamah. It is the time of Qiyam. It is the end day. It is the end time. Now what happens after Saturday? The cycle begins again. It is Allah's habit. He keeps on renewing. He keeps on repeating. So cycle keeps going on and on and on. Pir Nasir Khusraw also talks about very beautifully in his book Hudūd-i Dīn that 7 days actually means 7 direction for a Mu'min and Salih. And very interestingly, when we talk of Hazrat Adam alayhi salam and his Sharia, it comes from the top. Monday, when Hazrat Noah alayhi salam comes, that knowledge or that barakat, that light comes from the left side. Tuesday, it comes from behind us, and that is the day of Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam. Wednesday is Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, and it comes from bottom. Then Thursday is Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, which comes from right. Prophet on Friday, his talimat, his sharia comes from the front. But on the Saturday, we are surrounded from each and every direction. We are encompassed in nur, in talimat, in knowledge, as if there is a rain, shower of this knowledge, this Tawili knowledge for us. So this is the beautiful explanation given to us by Pir Nasir Khusraw about cycles, about 7 days of Allah. All right, so 7 days. Friday is the Prophet Muhammad day, and the Saturday is the last day. It is known as Qiyamah. It is known as the day of judgment. Our peers have actually used a specific term to talk about this day, and that is as-Sawari. And there are very many Jamaati members who may not be able to relate it, that as-Sawari is actually Qiyamah, the day of judgment. And in Quran, there are different names of Qiyamah. In Quran, there are very many different names of Qiyamah. In Numbers, there are 108 names. One of the biggest name of Qiyamah and its meaning is changes. Changes. And if we were to look at Hāzīr Imām's Farmans, Mawlā's Farmans are so many, Mawlā talks about changes in this time. So one of the meaning of the Qiyamah is changes. Now, because we mentioned the word Aswari, so we do need to understand how our peers have talked about the same thing, different words. Pir says in this Ginan, Jiv chodawa satpanth malya. Jiv chodawa satpanth milya. Eji tyare sahib aswari karse ane mehdi dharav se naam. Tyare sarve kufran thalshe bhai palte sarve jahan. O moments, at that time the Lord will manifest for the entire world and will be called Mehdi. At that time, he will remove all infidelities and will transform the world. Remember the 7th day, the time of Qiyamah. It is the time of Sawari. And Pir gives the name of Mehdi. The time Pir is calling is as Sawari, and the name is given as Mehdi. So when we were talking about our Saturday, the last day, it is the time of Qiyamah. It is the day of judgment. It is also represented by 12 o'clock. In the clock, when we look at the 12 o'clock, the 12 o'clock indicates that the 12 hours have ended, the day has ended, and the day is beginning to. In other words, it's a cycle. A cycle ends and a cycle begins. So Pir Nasir Khusraw has given us this talimat, this understanding, And then when someone had asked me that when you talk of these cycles, what is the age of the world? So finally, I found this good reference here, which has been shared with us by Dr. Fakir Muhammad Hunzai. He has translated it from the one of the books, and this is talking about age of the world. It says, Hazrat Nida binte Kisra, Sheher Bano, requested Hazrat Imam Ali Zainul Abidin to tell her about the age of the world. How much time has transpired and how much is yet left? Hazrat Imam said that as far as the elapsed time is concerned, we will tell you, but as far as the time yet to come is concerned, that is not possible to tell. With regards to the elapsed time, there have been 400,000 core past. So each core is 400,000 and the term is core. And within each core, there are doors, which is cycles. The door is cycles, have passed. This is such a thing that no one except God can do its proper counting. Note that one door is approximately 1,000 years. According to this calculation, the age of the world is 6 years. So anyone who is interested in calculation, it is 160,000 billion years, according to our Imams and Labdi. All this time, Imam has been here, cycles have been going on, humans have been on this planet, and the world is going on. As we all know, that without Imam, this world will not last a single moment. Now let's go back to our verse again, which we studied. In this, when we read this, it says, this, we have indeed revealed this message in the night of power. Now, Pir Nasir Khusraw talks about it that when it says this, actually it is talking about him. And our scholars who have studied Arabic, they also agree, looking at the Arabic, it is not this, actually it is him. We have indeed revealed him in the night of power. And Pir Nasir Khusraw talks about him as a personality. A personality is the one who is the night of power. So who is that personality? Surely it is our Imam, no one else. It is our Imam who was revealed in the night of power. Now remember Hadith of Prophet Muhammad. One of the Hadith says that he who dies without the recognition of the Imam of the time dies the death of ignorance. And the ignorant is in the fire. Without the recognition of Imam, one dies the death of an ignorant. Another Hadith says, had the world been devoid of an Imam for a moment, it would have shaken with its people. Meaning, 160,000 years, Imam has always been here. There was no time that Imam was not here on this planet, because this planet would not last if Imam is not there. So the question here is, when Prophet Muhammad had this revelation of this Surah Qadr, and it says that indeed him was revealed. Who was revealed to Prophet Muhammad? If we were to say it is Mawlānā Ali who was revealed, then the question would be, did he not know Mawlānā Ali? Mawlānā Ali lived with him. Someone may say, no, it was Hazrat Abu Talib. Did he not know Mawlānā Abu Talib who gave him the Isma Azam? Because without Isma Azam, there is no bandagi. We do know that Hazrat Prophet Muhammad had Isma Azam from the Imam of the time, who was Mawlānā Abu Talib. And based on the learning, the teachings from Imam of that time, Prophet Muhammad used to go to Ghar Hira to do his bandagi. So he knew the Imam of the time. And Mawlānā Ali was very young when he became prophet, only 8 years old. when Prophet became Prophet at the age of 40. In fact, he was the teacher of Mawla Ali. He was taking care of Prophet Muhammad. Mawla Ali lived with Prophet. So the question is, who was revealed? When we say that this night is night of power, night of revelation, night of majesty, night of glory, night of destiny, night of value, night of measures, night of decree, all these powerful names are given to this night. But the question is, who was revealed? Now let's look at the next verse. And it says, Wama adraka ma Lailatu'l-Qadr. And how can we convey to you what is the night of power? How can we convey to you? If it was Imam, it was light of Mawla Ali, why couldn't it be conveyed to Prophet Muhammad? Prophet Muhammad was follower of the Imam. He got the Ismaili Azam from Imam. He believed in Imam. He was murid of Imam. He had Farmans of Imam. There was no limitation for Prophet Muhammad to know the exalted personality of the Imam of the time. So logically, when we think of as Imam being revealed to Prophet Muhammad knew Imam. Does this mean that was this night of power supposed to come long after the time of Prophet Muhammad? And we must remember when we reflect on these verses that it was a spiritual experience of Prophet Muhammad during his ibadat. He's sitting in his ibadat, reciting his Ismaili Azam given to him by the Imam of the time, Hazrat Abu Talib. And he has this spiritual experience in which this Quranic verses are revealed to him, and he's being told, and how can we convey to you what is the night of power? As if Prophet Muhammad was having difficulty to understand who was this night of power. Now, when we apply this understanding to ourselves, yes, it is for Prophet Muhammad, but today it is for us too, right? We're applying it to ourselves too. How does the night of power we can apply on ourselves? What does it mean for us today? We are going to celebrate this night. We are going to stay awake and we are going to do this bandagi at this night and get all the blessings which we hear about this night. What does it mean to us? Remember again that this was a spiritual experience of Prophet Muhammad which happened to him during the time of Ibadat. Now, the verse 3 of Surah Qadr says, Lailatu'l-Qadr khairum min alfi shahr. The night of power is better than 1,000 months. Night of power is better than 1,000 months. So if we were to do bandagi on that night, we have taken care of 83.33 years, 1,000 months, because the night of power, the bandagi of that night is so powerful, it is better than 1,000 months. So we've taken care of almost our lifetime. One night of bandagi at Lailatu'l-Qadr should be sufficient. We do not need to do any more bandagi then. Would you agree with me? Not at all. Then the question here is, night of power is better than 1,000 months. What does that mean here? It is not talking about night as per se. According to Pir Nasir Khusraw, it is a personality we are talking about. It is a living personality we are talking about. So this night is better than 1,000 months. Logically, just doing bandagi for one night and not doing afterwards does not sound right at all. So the question would be, what is the Tawil? What is the Batini meaning of 1,000 months? Allāmah Nasiruddin Hunza in his book, Hāzīr Hikmat, talks about Surah Qadr. And he says that this Surah Qadr is full of numerous universal wisdoms and realities of the cycle of resurrection. It only has 5 verses, but these 5 verses are loaded with Tawil of the end time, the cycle of resurrection. And remember, we have to remind ourselves that God said He created the world in 6 days, and on 7th day, He folded, He sat on the throne. It is the end time. Very interestingly, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, when he sits on Gadi, it was a memorable time. Mawla is only 8 years old. Whole Jamaat is crying, shedding tears, missing the mature Imam. And this is the young child who's coming, and Jamaat is kind of shaken that what this young Imam, a child, would do. And this Imam, 2 weeks after Taknashini, he arrives at Darkhana Jamaat Khana in Bombay, India, and he gives Didar. And he gives a Farman, which lasted for an hour. In his first Farman, Mawla says, this is the last period. This is the cycle of resurrection. This is the end time. This is the Qiyamah. This is the last period. And whosoever has true faith in Imam will see the miracles. True faith is a criteria then to be able to understand what is going on in this time. We'll see the miracles and impressive events in his time by the Imam-e-Zaman. And those who have half-hearted faith, they will witness the miracles, but will not believe them. So miracles are there, evident to everybody, but it is only will be believed by those who have true faith, firm faith, complete faith. People who have half-hearted faith, they think Imam is a common man like them. They will also see the miracles, because miracles will be happening right in front of everybody's eyes. They'll ignore it. Those who don't have faith, they'll miss it. It is happening right in front of them and they'll miss it. Why? Because Iman is not such as it is ought to be. And this is Mawla saying. Imagine Mawla is only 8 years old, sitting on his takhat, giving this first Farman. It is telling us about this Imam, which is very unique Imam in the history of 49 Imams. His Imamat is the longest Imamat, 72 years. The changes Jamaat experienced during this Imam's time, it is unimaginable. And we have a beautiful book about Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, a bridge between 2 epochs. And I would request our friends to post it on the chat, so those who have never seen this book should benefit from this book, because this book is dedicated to Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's work, his Faramin, and how the life of Jamaat changed during this Imam's time. So again, let's go back. Pir Nasir Khusraw, in his book Wajh-e Dīn, his Talimat, he says that this night of power is better than 1,000 months. That is understanding from Surah Qadr. And he says the month here is actually talking about Imam. Question is, which Imam? And when he's talking about Ramadan, and he says Ramadan is also actually about Imam, because the month is represented by Imam. So Ramzan month is actually about Imam. And he says that this month is actually talking about giving the secrets of Mawla Ali. Those who get to the secrets of Mawla Ali, they ought to keep Roza. They cannot talk about the secrets of Imam. Imam has very many secrets. Imam has very many miracles. One of the name of Imam, his light is Ganje Makhfi, hidden treasure. Treasures which are hidden. Those who do not go to hunt the treasure, they don't get the treasure. So when they get it, they are expected, they are ordered to be keeping Roza. Do not talk about it. Now, Mawlānā Sulṭān Muhammad Shāh very strangely came bearing this news of the end time, which Pir had told us in their time as Aswari. Pir Nasir Khusraw says that those who seek the secrets of this night, the night of power, they have to be in elevated ranks, in higher ranks, to be able to recognize this Imam. Those who are in lower ranks will not be able to recognize this Imam. Those who are in lower ranks will not be able to recognize this Imam. When one will not recognize this Imam, how will they recognize those miracles which are happening right in front of our eyes, as Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah told us? We'll miss it. And what are these ranks? So most of us have heard about it, but those who are new, have not been here, let us just quickly review the hierarchy of religion, Hudūd-i Dīn. There are 12 hudūds. It begins with mustajib, the one who says, I don't know, I don't have knowledge. With all humility in acceptance of lack of knowledge, this moment accepts that he or she needs to learn. It requires a very high level of humility in an adult Mu'min. Those who are professionals, they are executives and whatnot. But when they come to learn about this knowledge and they say that they don't know, it requires them to become humble and say, I don't know and I need to learn. And then Pir says that the next stage is Mazune Mehdud, the one who has a limited permission. And if in our tradition, if you want to take the example of that, it's teacher, like a missionary who has limited izn. Then the next rank is Mazune Mutallaq, the one who has a broader izn. And then comes Da'iye Mehdud. Dai is the one who calls towards, he calls others towards haqiqat, gives the dawat. And within Dai, there are two levels. One is with limited izn, they are learning, and other is mutallaq, they are complete Dais, they are actual callers with broader and complete knowledge. Then comes the rank of hujjat. And in our Indo-Pak language, we call that term is Pir. Pir's job is, they are proof, they are like a veil. They know all the secrets of Imam. For example, to make it simple and easier for us to understand, Pir Sadr Deen was one with the Imam. He knew all the secrets of Imam, but his title, his rank was Pir. So he is the representative of Imam. And then comes the Darja, the rank of Bab. And Bab means door. And this rank is called Hujjat-e Azam. Hujjat-e Azam is the chief Hujjat. He is the one who is going to be the next Imam. He is the Lahiq Imam. He is going to be the next Imam. And then we have the rank of Imam himself, Imam-e-Barhaq, Ali-Nabi, Aulad-e-Nabi, the true Imam, the guide. And then comes the rank of Asas, foundational Imam. And this is who Mawla Ali is, foundational Imam, Asas Imam. Then comes the rank of Natiq. And we just reviewed the Natiq, Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Hazrat Noah alayhi salam, Hazrat Ibrahim, Hazrat Isa, Hazrat Musa, and Nabi Muhammad. Natiq, the word Natiq means speaker. They are the ones who bring their Sharia, their laws and their book, which has to be followed by the Mu'minins of that time. And then we do know these ranks, universal soul and universal intellect. Pir Nasir Khusraw says that those ranks who can know the secret of night of power, night of Qadr, they have to be beginning from Dai to the Asas. Minimum expected rank is Dai. If they are not Dais, they cannot know these secrets. Can we imagine here, pause for a moment, how merciful is Imam? These times are very strange times. Imam bestowed the title of Thy on each one of us. Why? Why? There are so many changes happening. Imam is promoting us, helping us to recognize the miracles which are happening right in front of our eyes, so we can recognize the hidden treasure. But again, when Imam gives title, it is dua, it is potential. One got to work on it to make it a real title, the actual title. If it is not made actual title, then it is just a title for the sake of the name of it, right? So Pir Nasir Khusraw says that those who have these titles, minimum Dai, they are the ones who will recognize the night of power. Other than that, this group of people, they will never recognize who we are talking about. Now the next verse says, Tanzilul malaikatu wal ruhu fiha bi iznihi rabbihim min kulli amr. Therein come down the angels and the spirit by Allah's permission on every errand. All the spirits and all the angels and the spirit, by Allah's permission, they come down. They come down to do what? It's a time of miracles. Those who have firm faith, they will be able to see these angels. They will be able to witness the miracles. These angels have come down and doing this miraculous work. Again, those who have half-hearted faith, they might see it, but they will not believe it. And very interestingly, another verse of Quran, chapter 2, Surah Baqarah, verse 210 says, do they await but that Allah should come to them in covers of clouds and the angels, and the matter is decided, and to Allah matters are returned. Do they await that the final judgment comes in, all the angels come out of the clouds? Because they are hidden. When there is hidden treasure, when something is hidden, there is a reason behind it, why they are hidden. And it is a principle of learning. When if something is given to us without making us realize the value of it, we take it for granted. But when something we discover, when we find something which we value it as a treasure, and we get to that treasure, that has totally different value in our heart and mind, totally different value. So this verse is actually asking, do they await that Allah should come out of covers of clouds, come to them in covers of clouds and the angels? Because they are right now hidden, they are behind the clouds. One has to have that eye of knowledge, certainty of knowledge, to be able to remove the clouds to see who is who. And then the next verse, which is the last verse, which says, Salamun hayya hatta matlil fajr. Peace, this until the rise of morning. There will be salamati until the morning time. It is the time of peaks of spirituality. In this time, the night of power, during the time of this Imam, there is a peak of spirituality. To attain elevated status, it will be made possible. Ruhaniyat will be brought close to mu'minin, those who seek it. And do we not hear this Farman very often of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shāh, validating that understanding of Surah Qadr? Verse 5, Mawla has said, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The status of man is high, but he debases it with his own hands. Those of you who strive to become like Pir Nasir Khusraw, Pir Shams, Mansur can become so. You can even elevate higher than that. What is higher than Pir? We just went through the ranks. It is possible during this time. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah told us that he made it possible for us. And this is the Farman of 1899. And today we are sitting in the month of April, end of April 2022. This is made possible for the whole Jamaat. Hāzīr Imām gives us the title of Thy. The miracles are happening right in front of the eyes of the Jamaat. Only those who have firm faith will be able to realize what miracles are happening. This is Mawlānā Hāzīr Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa Imam never disappears. Imam is to be present in the world to guide his followers at all times for their benefit, to lead them to the right path and maintain Imamat. Every messenger of God, like Prophet Muhammad, who had come in this world, used to say that he holds prophethood of the world. They used to claim publicly that they were the messengers of God, and they were not afraid of the people. Very strange Farman. Imam starts with this Farman by saying that Imam never disappears, and then gives the example of the time of prophethood. That there are no times when Imams are not physically present. Let it be the time of prophet or the resurrection time. And they never fear to claim that they are the messengers. They claim their rank. Why Imam would give us this kind of farman? One got to reflect and think. All these clues, all these points which we are learning, which we are hearing, where is it leading us to? What is the bottom line of all these understanding? And remember, whenever we are talking of learning of higher concepts, it is important that each one of us at our own place seeks answers. Why Imam has given us so many farmans that our faith is based on intellect. Personal search is the Islamic practice. In our faith, it is incumbent upon us to be doing the personal search. All these faramins are right in front of us. We've been studying these faramins. What have we learned? How much Tawil we had understood? Have we opened up the books of the Ismaili scholars to be able to understand what our peers have taught us, what Imams have been teaching us, what Quran is talking about? Remember, Quran is tanzeel. Quran talks in allegorical language. It does not help us understand the deeper meaning. And that is why Mawla Ali, who is the Assas, whose job is to give us Tawil. And that duty is being followed by Imams. Now one would say that in today's time, Imam doesn't teach Quran, interpretation of Quran. But remember, Imam is the king. King doesn't have to do the work. King delegates his duty. We as Mu'mineen, we as Mustajibeen, what have we done to learn, to find out the meaning of these talimat? What is the hidden treasure here? Why, when we listen to some things, it doesn't make sense? For example, I would emphasize again that in Surah Qadr, it is clearly talking about him being revealed to Prophet Muhammad. And we would hear that very commonly, that yes, it is the Imam, Mawla Ali. But Mawla Ali was right present there, in physical form, right there and there with him. We also know that when the Quran was revealed to Prophet, it was in the form of tanzeel. But luminously, in its nuraniyat, it was revealed in the heart of Mawla Ali, because Mawla Ali is the one who does the Tawil. All this understanding when we have, how do we make a complete picture out of it? Where is our responsibility to discover the truth out of all these learnings we are getting? Now, this is the Farman of Mawlānā Hāzīr Imām. Mawlānā Hāzīr Imām says, the fundamental principle is the recognition of the Imam of the time. Do we not recognize the Imam? Do we not recognize the Imam? What does recognition mean? It is he who interprets the faith. It is he who guides the Jamaat in the interpretation of its faith at any time during its lifetime. Imam guides us towards interpretation. Have we understood his guidance? Imam says the fundamental principle. And remember that hadith which we reviewed, that the one who dies the death of an ignorant, the one who does not recognize the Imam, dies the death of ignorant. So the question for us to ourselves is, do we recognize the Imam? And is that what was happening to Prophet Muhammad when he was told that how do we convey to you what is this night? That in this night, him was revealed to him. Are we saying that, are we concluding that at that time he got to the recognition of the Imam? Now one can conclude here that he was sitting in ibadat and that's how he got to the recognition. We are doing ibadat. But remember, Prophet Muhammad was the student of Mawlānā Abu Talib. He was learning the Tawili knowledge of our tariqah, of our religion, Islam. He was not without knowledge. Never be mistaken. Prophet Muhammad was very knowledgeable. But without the practice of ibadat, the batin doesn't open up. And this, when we talk of the Surah Qadr, it is in batin. And remember, there are 3 stages of learning. Remember that. First is certainty of knowledge. And then comes the eye of certainty. First, everyone has to learn the knowledge. Yes, Imam is very merciful. He gives the Isma Azam regardless of one has a knowledge or not. At least we start practicing. And I have said that in my earlier classes that it is truly the blessings of Ibadat Jamaat has done that the knowledge has become so easily accessible to Jamaat. Hearts have melted, hearts are wanting to learn more. Hearts are seeking. Otherwise, this world is very tempting. Jamaat got education and it is all about worldly life. And that is why we see so many Faramins of Hāzīr Imām saying that the purpose of getting education was not to just live worldly life, but to understand Allah's creation. And we just recently reviewed Farman of Hudūd-i Dīn. In that, Mawla says, do you ever think where Adam came from? Who sent Adam? Have you ever reflected on that? And then Imam says, you must reflect 2 hours a day. Now, those 2 hours in today's time, where did I hear? REC. In last session of Rashida Sahiba, somebody asked and she said, imagine the religious knowledge our children are getting. REC is 1 hour in a week. How many hours worldly education are children getting? And if the reason of us coming to this world is Shanacht of Imam, recognition of Imam, how are we spending time wisely to help our younger generations and ourselves to learn? And Imam Sulṭān Muhammad Shah's Farman, his hukum in Usul-i Dīn is that we must reflect 2 hours a day. 2 hours? That is our duty. Then only we can get to the hidden secrets of Imam. And remember, miracles are happening right in front of us. So if we do want to benefit from this night of Qadr, this night which is full of blessings, we do need to realize the importance of the fundamental principle, which is the recognition of the Imam of the time. So when we conclude, we can say that yes, night of Qadr was a very special night for Prophet Muhammad. He recognized him. Prophet Muhammad got his recognition. Of course, it is Imam's recognition. No doubt about it. It is the recognition of Imam which he got at a higher level. And this same night is an opportunity for us to recognize him, to fulfill the reason of coming to this world. Now the question is, can we recognize him only sitting in ibadah? Yes, ibadat is a very important element. Anyone who has Isma Azam has given promise to Mawla Baba that they will not miss ibadat. We should not miss any day of ibadat. And then it is Imam's mercy. Imam says, you sit in ibadat and you fall asleep, it is okay, but at least you sat. There is no failure. So Shukr Mawla to those that they are waking up and sitting and probably sleeping, even then it is an effort. But we should not miss any day of ibadat, because it is the fruit of ibadah that the heart will become seeker of higher knowledge. So sitting in ibadat on Shab-e Qadr will not replace any other nights of ibadah. And if we truly understand what we are saying here, that it was during the time of ibadat when Prophet Muhammad recognized the night of Qadr, meaning he had the Batini Didar of the Imam's light, meaning any Mu'min Salik, whenever he or she has the Batini Didar of the Imam of the time, the Batini Didar, that is the night of Qadr for that moment. So this night of Qadr is an example in front of us, a role model in the form of Prophet Muhammad, for us to learn from it. Have we got to our night of Qadr? And this night of Qadr, again, the understanding is Ilmul Yaqeen, Ainul Yaqeen, and then Haqqul Yaqeen. And remember that whenever we learn, I do want to talk about this, and this is not at all related to the content, the topic, but learning principle. This night of Qadr coming to us in few days, it's like a stimulation for us to ask questions to learn. One can make a problem statement. What is this night all about? Then one starts collecting data. Then the step comes of processing the data. Khayal karo. Mawla's hukum is that you need to reflect. Then comes verification, and then the learning takes place. If we were to expect in every lecture that we get every hidden secret given to us in a plate, we will not value those fruits. And it will be a mistake from learning point of view. If we were to take all these things, expect all these secrets to learn like this, without putting in any hard work, without doing the Farman Bardari of Imam, doing personal search, we will not be able to realize what we are getting is miracle. We will miss these miracles, and they are happening right in front of our eyes. So I'll stop here. Shukran lillah walhamdulillah, shukran lillah walhamdulillah.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, shukran lillah walhamdulillah. There is a question. If Prophet Muhammad got recognition of Imam at a higher level, does that mean him being the universal intellect was not aware of Imam before, and him also holding higher position being the Natik?
Beautiful question. Truly wonderful question. So it is very interesting to realize that all the prophets, everybody has to climb the ladder of Hudūd-i Dīn. And remember, when we are talking of night of Qadr, it is the month of Ramadan, when he got this first revelation. That was the first time he was becoming Natik. He was not Natik. He was just being told that he's becoming Natik. So he was also climbing the ladder. The difference is that when we talk of this exalted personality and their journey, their Ismail Azam, the Noor, the Ismail Azam is called, the Noor of the Ismail Azam is called Noor-e Fa'al. That Ismail Azam works in a very speed, it's a high speed. It is not like us. We are very poor, Garib Nachis. But when we talk of the Ismail Azam of Natik and Imam, their Ismail Azam works very fast. So when Prophet Muhammad was doing his ibadat, he became Natik and he was in his Batini journey recognizing the higher ranks. Very good question. Subhanallah.
Subhanallah, subhanallah. There is another question. It is, who is him? Has he already arrived? If not yet arrived, when is he going to arrive?
Very good question. Very good question. Am I not asking the same question for you on your behalf? So here, the answer here is in the form of other question, which I just saw. Alina probably put it there. So the Prophet Muhammad and Imam have one Noor? Yes, the Noor is one. So when we talk of light, light is one. But we see different personalities, right? Personality of Prophet Muhammad, personality of Mawlānā Ali, personality of Mawlānā Abu Talib. The question here is, who is that personality we are talking about? Who is that personality we are talking about, referring to Night of Power? Let me tell you, these times are very strange. How about we all commit to do some personal search, and I can tell Naveen Sahiba to post some of the literature. Like there's a beautiful article by Dr. Fakir Muhammad Hunzai. If one were to review those content, they will not only know the name, but they'll know more. And I would highly encourage each one of us to do that personal research. Literally, all this research work is given to us in a plate. Now we just need to read or review and reflect on it to realize, who are we talking about? And then whoever personality we come to realize, come to know, are we at the level of knowledge, have learned everything possible there is to learn about them? If not, then I would say we do need to work on the level of knowledge. And remember, the first step is the ilmul yaqeen. In general classes, sometimes there are limitations. The more we do riyazat, learning, reflection individually in higher learning classes, what happens, it becomes easier for us to make a whole picture and understand every part of it. When we are trying to discuss this in general classes with different levels, it becomes difficult in the sense that it is hard to do justice to each and every friend who's listening. So it is very important that we take home for ourselves, those who are truly interested to know, this homework for us to read and reflect to realize, who are we talking about and why? Remember, in our tariqah, there is no hocus pocus. Everything has to be proved logically. Why? What? From Quran, from Ginan, from Farman. Everything has to point to that personality. All the evidences should be showing to us. And not only that, if we were to able to do that, then I would say we can take another step and say, Ya Mawla, show me those miracles you mentioned. If they are happening right now, show me those miracles so I can be shukr guzar and be in gratitude, do some sajda, so I can realize and feel that happiness of Imam's blessings. So Naveen Sahib, I see here a beautiful question. If humans are successful in leaving this world and start to live on moon or other planets in future, who will be the Imam on moon or other planets? Will we have two Imams, one on Earth planet and one on the moon or the other planet? Beautiful question, Naseem. Beautiful question. Imam is the Imam over the whole galaxy. Imam is always one. Earth planet is one small planet, but Imam is Imam for all the planets. There are life in other planets too. We don't know as humans, we have not discovered it, but there is life. And Imam is their Imam too. So there will be no two Imams at any point in time. Imam is Imam. Mawlānā, Shāh Karīm al-Ḥusaynī Hāzīr Imām. Allahumma salli ala Muḥammad.
We have one more question. You said month means Imam. Does this signify Lailatu'l-Qadr is better than Imams?
So let me rephrase your question. You are trying to understand the concept, and I see that. So wonderful job. So yes, month means Imam. So in other words, we are saying that Imam, who is Lailatu'l-Qadr, is better than all other Imams.
Will we have different cycles on other planets or moons compared to Earth? Are there any planets with different cycles?
Beautiful question. Imam is one. Imams, Farmans are one for the Jamaat to follow at any and every planet. However, the stages of life could be different in different planets. But Imam is one. Ji.
Friends, if you have any other questions, please come forward.
So I see posted that the month of Ramzan is for Ali, but all Imams are Ali, definitely. Ms. Saba, I see a question which is privately posted. So this is a very beautiful question. It says, how does a murid present himself or herself on the night of power? I hope I understand that you are talking about this Saturday when we are going to celebrate Lailatu'l-Qadr. Yes, so that means that it is a night where we are blessed to have different majalis and Jamaati. It will be in congregation. There will be so many members. So remember, when we are more in numbers, we create a lot of nur. So it's a good that we'll have a majalis together and we'll do a lot of zikr together, because it is always good to do zikr in abundance. So we will have that zikr for different majalis, and then we will sit in ibadat the way we sit in ibadat from 4 to 5. So in reality, this night reminds us that this was the night when Prophet Muhammad got to that recognition. For us, all the nights is a potential night to get to that recognition. Not just night of Lailatu'l-Qadr. Lailatu'l-Qadr night is a reminder, a role modeling from our Prophet. From his story, it is teaching for us that we can also have that special night which is better than 1,000 months. And we will be able to recognize the Imam in our batin. When will that night be? It can be different for each one of us. And when we recognize Imam, that is the night of power for that Mu'min Salih. So this current night of Qadr we are celebrating, it is for Prophet Muhammad. Another question I see, that Prophet Muhammad was guided by Hazrat Abu Talib and he was given Isme Azam, but it says hidden Imam. Now hidden does not mean that they were hiding as per se, because it was the time of the prophethood. That is why Imam were not announced. It happened after Prophet Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad announced the Imamat at Ghadir Khum. Right? So those who knew Imam, they knew Imam, but it was not the time of Imamat, it was time of Prophet. So the prophets were in front. Today it's the time of Imamat, so Imams are in front.
There is one question in the chat personally came in as, how do I on personal level benefit? Goal is to do more zikr, ibadat, and listen to understanding of Lailatu'l-Qadr, but what about after Ramzan ends?
So Ramzan is a sacred month, and we just read that Ramzan, actually, we talked about Pir Nasir Khusraw's Talimat, it talks about Mawlā Ali. So all in all, what we are saying, it is actually about recognizing the Imam. Yes, goal is to do more zikr and ibadat, but not only zikr and ibadat, use intellect and seek knowledge. Until we don't use our intellect and learn the knowledge, until that time, we will not know why Ramzan was the name of Mawlā Ali. You know, the detailed, in-depth, Tawili understanding. And that understanding, that comprehension starts building in our heart when we are doing zikr ibadat. So never undermine. I'm not saying that zikr ibadat is not important. In fact, it is very important. Abundant zikr is very, very important. Not missing our Nurani time ibadat is very, very important. But that is not it, which is usually is Jamaat's understanding that if I do bandagi, if I do zikr, that is enough. That's incorrect. Remember what we just read in the Hadith, that anyone who dies the death of ignorant, meaning not having the recognition of Imam, they died ignorant. Regardless of the bandagi they have done, regardless of the zikr they have done. So remember that.
There are no more questions, but a good comment is ilm and ibadat needs two wings to fly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your dua. It was truly a humbling experience, and I'm truly grateful for all you attending this session. And yes, I see more comments here because it does. This topic needs a lot of reflection, and alhamdulillah, we are right in time of Ramadan. So we do need to continue to read, reflect, just not listen, but chew on that knowledge which you get. Then, you know, it will become the way Mawlana Sulṭān Muhammad Shāh says, right? That if you listen to my farman and understand it, then it will be as if in your heart you have planted a plant and it will start growing. Literally, knowledge is like that. When we seek knowledge like that, with Imam's Faramin, Imam's Hidayat, it starts growing full blooming tree because the Tawili understanding starts making sense in our head. All these concepts become easier. So alhamdulillah, shukranillah, alhamdulillah, we are on the journey of learning. I'm going to take that last question. Do we have a list of names of Imam from Adam to Prophet Muhammad? Please share. Yes, Naseem, you can contact us. Yes, we do have the names of Imam. It is the time of knowledge. All this knowledge is available. One got to do search. You can find it too yourself if you were to do the search. But contact me individually. I would be happy to share it with you. Thank you so much. Yali Madad. Yali Madad, friends.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad. Thank you so much.
Alhamdulillah, Yali Madad.
Shukran. Yali Madad. Shukr.
Shukr Mawla, Shukr Mawla.
Yali Madad Niamat.
Yali Madad Rabia.
It's really so good to hear everything. Lot of knowledge we are being given.
Shukr Mawla, Meri Jaan, Shukr Mawla.
मौला सेवादारियों की सेवा कबूल करे.
Ameen, Ameen. Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.